the woman discovered that her fiancé was live streaming on a rooftop, threatening to jump. But instead of panicking at all, she calmly went up to the rooftop. She even asked the scumbag fiancé why he had been standing there for an hour and still hadn't jumped. It turned out that at the wedding a few days earlier, the fiancé she had loved deeply for 3 years abandoned her in front of all the guests and ran away with another woman. As a result, the woman became a laughingstock of the entire elite circle, but she was far from an ordinary person. At this moment, the scumbag had no idea what kind of existence he had provoked. Little did he know that when the woman was 7 years old, her father was having affairs outside the marriage. When she saw her mother hiding in a corner, crying silently, even as a child, she showed a level of calm far beyond her age. She secretly collected all the evidence of her father's infidelity. In the end, she forced that irresponsible man to leave with nothing. Then, when she was 18, her grandfather suddenly passed away. Facing 7 heirs who were eyeing the Shin Group like tigers, she navigated the brutal business battles with ease and stood out. She even successfully took the position of CEO of the Shin Group. Yet even such an unbeatable businesswoman ended up stumbling over a man this time. But the woman would not be heartbroken over a scumbag's mistake. Instead, she would make him pay for it. In fact, 3 days before the wedding, at the pre-wedding party, the woman had already noticed something was wrong. She saw her fiancé holding the scheming woman's cup and taking a sip from it. After that, the woman met with her fiancé alone. She told him that tomorrow's wedding could be cancelled, but the scumbag tried to argue that he had just picked up the wrong cup. The woman didn't believe that a man with severe germophobia could fail to notice a cup with obvious lipstick marks. Faced with her questioning and unable to argue back, he could only apologize. He promised to keep his distance from the scheming woman. But in the end, the scumbag chose the most humiliating way to fulfill what he called love. Soon, the woman's revenge came fast and fierce. As soon as the market opened, Meng Group's stock price plunged. In just a few hours, nearly 400 million yuan in market value evaporated. The Meng family was instantly thrown into chaos. Sure enough, the scumbag's parents rushed over shortly after. The moment they entered, they aggressively questioned the woman for ignoring the decades-long relationship between the two families and insisting on driving the Meng family to ruin. Meng's mother spoke in a condescending tone. She said that if it weren't for the woman's grandfather, she would never have agreed to let her son get engaged to a woman 5 years older than him. She ordered the woman to immediately stop short-selling the stock and promised that her son would leave the scheming woman. At that moment, both of them received a message at the same time. Meng Group's stock had dropped another 10 points, with 700 million yuan in market value wiped out. This instantly panicked the two of them. When she heard the word worn-out shoe, the woman picked up the water on the table and splashed it onto Meng's mother's face. She coldly told the clueless woman that now that she had broken up with her son, there was no need to be as humble as before. Meng's father completely lost his arrogance. He could only lower his head and apologize, begging the woman to spare the Meng family this once. But the woman believed that they had failed to discipline their son, so they should bear the consequences of his mistakes. The woman issued her final ultimatum. In 13 hours, Meng Group would go bankrupt. Then she ordered them to leave. After the Meng parents left, the scumbag sent vicious messages. He opened by accusing the woman of having no shame, and even shamelessly claimed that loving someone meant letting them go. After hearing this, the woman didn't bother wasting words on him. As the company was on the verge of bankruptcy, the scumbag called again to seek reconciliation. He wanted love but couldn't let go of. He thought he could smoothly play both women at the same time, but the woman had already seen through his true nature. Driven into a corner, under the instigation of the scheming woman, the man came up with an even more vicious plan to play the victim. He ran to the rooftop of the woman's company and started a live stream. In the video, he cried and accused her bitterly, claiming that for 3 years he had been mentally controlled by a woman. He twisted the facts, painting his runaway wedding as an act of rebellion against tyranny, and portraying the scheming woman as his only emotional support. In the end, he turned off the live stream and stood at the edge of the rooftop, using his life as a threat, begging the woman to spare him and his family. He quickly succeeded in stirring sympathy among uninformed onlookers. The woman was labeled as a vicious ex-girlfriend and a control freak. Insults and attacks flooded in from all directions, yet the woman remained completely calm. She knew this was nothing more than the scumbag's final struggle. She even couldn't help but look forward to 3 days later, when the scumbag would hear insults 10 times worse than these. Since he wanted to play, she decided to let the bullets fly a little longer. When she arrived on the rooftop, they put on a full-blown tragic performance. The scheming woman also hypocritically said that she was willing to return the scumbag to the woman, and begged her to show mercy. This clumsy acting made the woman laugh. She didn't even bother exposing it. Seeing that the woman remained unmoved, the scumbag viciously warned that he would jump from there, but the woman walked straight up to him. Enraged, the woman grabbed him by the collar. This instantly terrified everyone present. The scumbag, afraid she would actually push him down, went weak in the legs when he heard her say she would help him jump. However, this farce was live-streamed in full by someone with ulterior motives. The scheming woman seized the moment. She pulled out the scumbag's depression diagnosis report during the livestream, portraying him as a pitiful man driven into depression by the woman. She also incited netizens to boycott Shin Group and remove the woman. As the storm of public opinion grew more intense, even the woman's best friend panicked and urged her to fight back immediately. But the woman said she wanted to wait until public opinion reached its peak before completely tearing off the scumbag's fake mask. Soon enough, the scumbag smugly came knocking, delivering an engagement invitation for himself and the scheming woman. The scumbag believed that this wave of public opinion would prevent the woman from remaining CEO. He proposed that if she publicly apologized at the engagement party, he would help calm the public backlash. What he didn't know was that the woman had already planned to make him lose completely, and that would happen at the engagement party tomorrow. The next day, at the Shin Group shareholders meeting, someone indeed raised objections. Using the public opinion crisis as an excuse, the shareholders demanded that the woman temporarily step down and take a break. Even the PR director she had personally promoted, jumped out at this moment and turned against her. Looking at these clowns taking advantage of the chaos, the woman did not panic. Instead, she placed an hourglass on the conference table. The time in the hourglass was 1 hour. Before the sand ran out, she would destroy Meng Group's reputation completely. If she failed, she would leave Shin Group. But if she succeeded, every shareholder present with ulterior motives would meet the same fate as Meng Group. As soon as she said this, the shareholders were so frightened that no one dared to speak. At the same time, the engagement party of the scumbag and the scheming woman was being held in grand fashion. The location was the very hotel where the unfinished wedding had taken place. On stage, the scumbag told a touching love story, painting the scheming woman as the hero who saved him from a nightmare. The guests below cursed that older woman. At this moment, the scumbag was still expecting the woman to come and kneel down to apologize. But what awaited him was not her begging. His eyes were filled with killing intent. From a young age, she believed that kindness was a gentle blade, and her only gentleness had been given to a man who didn't deserve it. Now that she wanted to destroy a man, no one co.
莫云生，准备好迎接你的死期了吗？